First day of school, fellas.
Coming in at number 47 on our top 100 list is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This movie came out in 1977. It was from Steven Spielberg, of course, and it was the same year that Star Wars came out from George Lucas. This was a movie about aliens touching down on Earth, and it also kind of set the tone for a major thematic message, I think, from Steven Spielberg about aliens maybe not being a terrifying, the day the Earth stood still kind of phenomenon. And Invaders from Mars. I mean, this was a guy that I think really felt like maybe aliens would be our friends if they ever visited us.
Yeah, I will never forget the beep, 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 boop,
Yes.
boop sequence at the end. I read the novel. There was like a novelization, and I just looked at the cover, which was actually the movie poster of the book, and it was just this light coming over the top of a hill. And I remember for the rest of my childhood, whenever I would see a car coming from the other direction and that light would be coming up, I would think, here comes the spaceship to sort of rattle down on me and make all the electronics turn off. But I didn't see this movie until years later. It was a movie that I fantasized about for a long time. I wondered what it was about, and it was a movie that lived inside me, but I had my own version of it going on in there. So when I did finally see it, and I saw this family man, Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Neary is the character he plays in the film, just become unhinged, and it's really his story.
Don't hang up, just don't!
Your meat should remain unaffected.
I mean, he starts building that thing, the Devil's Tower, out of mashed potatoes at one point in the film. And you just see this guy, not unlike probably Steven Spielberg's story, a man who was constantly seeing stuff that wasn't there, but he believed in the stuff, he believed in the fiction that wasn't there, and then eventually it turns out to be true. The aliens do come down, they do go to Devil's Tower.
But there is some genuine spooks. I mean, the kid getting zapped away, that whole sequence where all the toys are coming to life, frightening as hell, and I think also set the precursor, set the tone, I think, for what we would later see with Poltergeist. It's certainly one of the sci-fi greats of all time, and we've got a review right here.
In 1977, in November to be exact, Steven Spielberg changed the world with his film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is available 30 years later plus, as a Blu-ray box set celebrating its 30th birthday.
Super awesome, deluxe, ultimate Close Encounters of the Third Kind edition is what I call it.
It is insane. It literally gives you everything you would ever want in a Blu-ray package and more. Just when you think that you're done with all the beauteous extras and things that this package has to offer, there's something else.
They give you 3 different versions of the film. You get the theatrical version that came out in '77. You get the special edition that came out like 3 years after the fact.
Yeah, because he had more money and he could do more with the film that he didn't have the chance to do, so he went back and added some stuff and
He added some
released
stuff,
it.
he took some stuff away, and then he came out with this sort of ultimate director's edition that came out many years later.
It's a film nerd's dream. That doesn't even speak to the fact that there is an entire disc of special features. And they do go back and they interview Steven Spielberg now about,
Which is so cool
about the
to hear
experience.
him talk about it.
Yeah. On top of the movie being just so awesome, and to me, Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a movie I grew up with. It was in my house on a tape, and my brother was a huge fan, and my mother was a huge fan, and we watched it over and over. I mean, it's a huge part of my childhood. So watching it obviously brings up a lot of nostalgic feelings. It's also a movie that, for a change, embraces the idea of an alien visitation being something positive and joyous and hopeful and optimistic. And Spielberg talks about how he wanted to really embrace children's optimism of opening doors to the light, not being afraid of it and trusting it. And so genius, so beautiful. And I love the fact that that movie exists and that there isn't only these negative alien invasions where it's all darkness and
Not all
Sturm und
aliens are
Drang
coming
and
to
all
take
that
over
stuff.
the world. Some just want to come out and play with their mashed potatoes.
And some just want to make beautiful music with us.
The other thing that I love about this is that we used to have trading cards that would come with a piece of gum, and I had all the... Before I ever saw the movie, I had all the trading cards for Close Encounters.
I had all the Raiders ones.
Now listen, congratulations once again to Steve Spielberg. Little Steve Spielberg, you've all grown up. Listen, it's probably not the last we're going to hear from this guy.
Not.
That's a big talent right there. He's number 47 with Close Encounters of the Third Kind.